Head to panel discussion 2, which is about adoption of omni-channel customer strategy to enhance customer engagement and create seamless experience. And for the same, I would like to introduce the moderator, Mr. Tarun Saheja, a digital evangelist, boasts 20 years of a progressive experience spanning consulting, digital solutions, and technology pre-sales. Adept in SAP digital CX products, he excels in leading pre-sales efforts, solution architecture, and consulting. As a technology practice leader, he drives revenue growth. And for the same, I would request the moderator, please join us on the stage, Mr. Tarun Saheja, Senior Solution Specialist, SAP Customer Experience, SAP India. And I would request the following panelists to kindly join us on the stage. Mr. Manish Chandegara, CIO, Simpolo Tiles and Bathware. Mr. Prashant Choudhary, Head of Marketing, Fino Payments Bank Limited. Mr. Pushkar Gokhale, EVP and Business Head at Godrej and Boyce Manufacturing Company Limited. Mr. Sajal Kumar, Director Customer Experience at Z5. I would request the moderator to kindly begin with the session.
What we'll do is, it's a pretty heavy topic. Omni-channel customer strategy for an omni-channel seamless experience. You couldn't ask for anything difficult than this. Okay, so what I'll do is, we'll break this session into 3 parts. I will set the context. Because it's a heavy topic, we need to focus on certain inner building blocks so that this strategy can link to an experience delivery, right? So I'll spend some 5 minutes to 7 minutes on introducing that context, and then we will begin with what everyone thinks about what is the strategy about. We have the panelists over here, right? We have already introduced, but I would really want to know more about each panelist, your name, your role, and the company you come from, and what's the sales play that you are most interested in. Either it's a business to consumer, business to business, or a channel partner. If you can just talk about it so that everyone refreshes their memory, and then we can get started.
Hello everyone. Myself Manish. I am representing Simpolo Ceramics and Bathware. We are into the tiles manufacturing and bathware products, and we are into the B2B as well as B2C, both the segment. We do also have a channel partners. So this is what we are, and we are into the business since almost 40 years.
Wow.
We are based out at Gujarat.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Hi, this is Prashant. I represent Fino Payments Bank. I'm not going to go into the details of what payment banks is all about. So we basically serve the market which is B2B2C. So we have a large merchant network, what we call it as Fino points, and we have a customer base that's basically serviced through these Fino points, weaving e-digital in between.
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Pushkar Gokhale. I head the security solutions business for Godrej. To be very simple and concise, we are in the business of offering peace of mind to all our customers at home and at office. So whatever safes, vaults, cameras, everything you see, it's supplied by us. Today, whatever discussions we'll have, I'll talk more specific on B2C, particularly on our home safes category, which is called the home lockers. And that's something where we do face a lot of challenges, and I'll talk about that. Yeah.
Thank you, Tarun and Gainskills, for having me here. I'm Sajal Kumar. I scale customer experience for Z5. It's one of the top leading OTT entertainment providers in India. Z coming in from a house which pioneers entertainment in India since the last 35 years. And I'll be talking more about how we are working on the digital interfaces in increasing the customer experience, which results in organic growth for the brand. Thank you.
Thank you. So without further delay, let's begin. When we talk about strategy, they will be covering it in their individual sections, okay? Now let's talk about omni-channel experience, right? Omni-channel is multi-channel, and whether you are a B2B brand or a B2C brand or a conglomerate for that matter, when we talk about channels, it's digital channels, right? Digital channels that you have, your mobile apps, your web browsers, and your browsing capability or shopping journeys, emails, SMS, social, everything that you own digitally. Second type of channel is your own stores. That is the offline channel, which is owned by you, right? Whether it is a service visit, whether it is you visiting a particular store or an experience center, okay? Third type of channel is the channel partners. Now, most of us have not even digitally connected all these channels, right? But for 1 second, let's assume that all these channels are digitally connected. Where I'm going to is to understand from a customer angle, a connected experience for these channels would mean only two things, right? It helps the brand to deliver connected experiences so that a sale can happen or a resale can happen, right? And the second angle of this interactive experience is that, let's say if a prospect or a customer is trying to reach out to know more about the product or to raise a complaint, all these channels need to be connected. But do you think there is something missing when we talk about customer strategy and an omni-channel experience? Think about it. What about delivery and logistics experience? What a customer feels. What about availability of a product? When it is available, where it is available, right? Multi-channel, pick up in store, BOPIS kind of mechanisms. What about quality experience? Or the product experience itself? What about, let's say if I am a repeat customer, how do I get treated differently? So there are some issues in the repeat buying experience also. So what are these experiences related to? These are related to what we call as the back office experiences or the supply chain issues or the logistic experiences. Given a fact, how many of you would want to change any of these back office experiences for a very loyal customer? Not probably for B2C, but probably for B2B you will do that, right? You do that, you have your key account managers do that, they focus on the prime accounts and the key accounts and they ensure that they give the best price, they give the delivery when they want it. But what happens to the B2C side of things, right? So yes, you would be able to change that back office experiences and provide a holistic experience to the customer only if you get to know what is the cost that you are spending to tweak these back office experiences versus what are you saving and what are you getting in return, right? So let's assume you have a segment of 100 customers all belonging in Mumbai. They want the products, maybe it's Diwali season or something, they want the products immediately or in a very urgent manner. If you get a business insight, no, not insight, but the business intelligence to tell you that if you provide a faster delivery experience to these 100 customers, you will meet the KRA of not letting them churn during the festival period. B, you will probably have them come back again in this tough time of, the festival period. C, you will improve brand loyalty. But all these, apart from the revenue that is getting generated, all these are insight words. And if you want to know in real time, it's very difficult to quantify. And that's the reason we do this in the B2B realm of things where there is a key account manager focused on a particular account and they will do whatever they can. But when it comes to B2C, we cannot have so many key account managers in the B2C realm of things, right? So we have to depend on technology. And that is what I'm talking about, business intelligence, right? So how can business intelligence work alongside customer 360? Which is encompassing not only interactive experience and also all of this back office experiences, which can help you tweak those back office experiences that I spoke about, right? And let's assume that if you are able to do that, would there be any other area that a customer would complain about or certain things, right? I mean, if we have to keep a fact in the mind that yes, this is not possible on a one-on-one basis, but at least we can have a considerable amount of target segment to do this. Today, the entire supply chain and the back office works little bit, I mean, not little bit, most of it independently to what your personalized experience is called about, right? I mean, you guys would agree with me, right? So keeping that in mind, let's focus the shift on customer strategy and how you create this customer 360, right? In the first round. And then we'll focus more on what are the challenges that you are facing to create that customer 360 and using it, right? So today, your marketers might use it to send a campaign, right? But can your delivery partner use the experience or the customer 360 to better plan delivery in real time? Okay, so that's the theme. So let's start with Manish. Yeah.
So as you rightly said, customer 360 is a very large subject to say. And as we are the manufacturing company, we are also dealing with customer. We are also dealing with business. We are also dealing with distributed channel. So we are having a very vast experience, very different kind of experience with the customers. We used to collect customer complaint, customer feedback. We try to delight customers with the using the Omni-channel, as you rightly said. So, like we have our own setup where we collect the information from the customer from various channels, like social medias, like phones, like feedback from the sales teams, feedback from the dealers, the feedback from the footfalls we receive from our sales office and sales studios, we say. So our business is a little bit different. We need to showcase our product in our studios, in our dealer locations, where customer come and feel the product. Once they feel in their hand the design and everything, and then only they pass on the orders. Sometimes happen that whatever they feel, whatever they seen in the studio, those products once they put down in a floor or put down in their home, they might don't like. So their complaint and their feedback also come in some different way. So there are certain policies, certain process we are following to manage those complaints. Like we used to put some samples so the customer can have a look and feel on the product first. And once they are okay with that, then only we go with the rest of the order. This is the way we are, managing the customer complaints.
So Manish, you would want to talk more about how you are able to connect an online journey with the offline journey. You mentioned that you have a lot of experience stores where the customers or prospects are actually coming here to feel the product and see the product in real time. And are you able to exchange a smaller version or a fruitful version of customer 360 or a prospect 360 with your dealer segment or the experience store segment, or are you how are you able to do that? Can you share some this with us?
So yes, traditionally we have a product available in our dealers, in our studios, but yeah, we also have digitally implemented in our websites, In our showrooms, we have put a few iPads so where customer can come and look and feel how it's look like with the help of AI and UI. So they can have at least one level of feeling. So that is where we are, trying to help customer in better way.
Yeah, let's move on to Prashant.
So, customer strategy that delivers omni-channel experience. Now, I think we are still doing it. And as I see in the market, not many companies or hardly handful of them probably have achieved what we could call it as an achievement, especially in Indian context. So at Fino too, we are striving to do better. There are still disconnected dots as in any of the company around here. What happens, there are functions at the back end, that's how you scale and make the business happen. Getting those functions together, however, your customer is one. He doesn't know that whether you are talking to a support or a sales or whoever that department may be, or marketing for that matter. The customer expects a seamless journey of their experience. And the experience, in my opinion, starts with the discovery stage, then consideration, and so on and so forth, which we heard in the last session. Delivering that in an omni-channel manner, and as we go by, there are always new channels that are emerging. Today, there are probably, we could call it as like a dozen of channel. Tomorrow, there could be a couple of dozens or maybe more than 100. And how do we deliver that? From the Fino's point of view, how do we ensure that it's done? Because what we have a unique model. Our model is B2B to C, as I mentioned, right? So we have a merchant base sitting in, say, some remote corner of Bihar, Eastern Bihar, that too. Okay, say Chapra. Chapra is still nearby to Patna, so still it's a little town. But you can call it as a village or a hamlet. And that merchant is serving the set of customers around there. Entire journey is happening digitally today. So a customer goes there, he wants to withdraw cash or deposit cash, whatever banking transaction he wants to do, he can get it done there at night, 9 o'clock, or morning, 6 o'clock. All right. So one is my systems has to be up and running at 24/7. That's number one. Number two, his experience at that merchant has to be consistent what we at Fino believes it got to be. And how do we ensure that? So there is a physical, so we call it as ourselves a phygital bank, physical and digital. Okay. So we have about a year back, we made a foray, a lot of investment is going into developing digital interface called Fino Pay. The customer can go to the merchants, withdraw the cash. In case there is a UPI he wants to do, he can use the Fino Pay app. The entire journey that we are trying to stitch is a seamless. That's, you want to use Fino Pay, please go ahead and do that. You want to have a physical presence, you want to talk to someone, a human, you can go to any merchants and you can get your work done. As long as your problem is resolved, we are happy.
Yeah, Prashant, one important question, since you are belonging to the fintech world, how does compliance and governance allow you to consume data and market? Could you share a couple of thoughts on that?
Okay, banking and compliance goes hand in hand because it's all about money at the end of the day. So it plays a very important role in terms of data. What we can, for example, there are a lot of things we want to do as a marketer, but we can't do because compliance, risk, and there are multiple departments, legal, multiple department comes into the play and they always have their viewpoint. And of course, it's done for a goodness of entire ecosystem, the frauds and everything happening around. You got to be very careful that you don't lose out the money. In terms of the data ingestion, if we talk about, we can ingest data, and typically we generate tons of data on a daily basis. You know that from a customer. There are something called a direct data and inferred data. So both kind of data that we have, and our analytics teams work day in, day out on it. What we can share outside the world, outside to the world, that is very much restricted. Even as we as a marketer, my laptop is like completely, under 24/7 supervision, even if I work from here.
Yeah, okay, Prashant. Yes, Prashant.
Yeah, so I think, today if you look at two words which are very loosely used or rather abused are Gen AI and Omni-channel. I think wherever we go, everybody talks about it. What I will share with everyone here is basically the way in which we have gone about creating a holistic way of adopting digital, and of course ensuring that how we have this entire omni-channel thing going for us, helping us, facilitating our entire business, and not just bits and pieces. So I think when we look at a complete strategy of this digital and digital transformation, one needs to think about three axes. The first axis, I think, is more in terms of what happens here in the customer's mind. And I am going to talk about four key words, which are basically to do with the human brain. The first one is the brand image. So I think if I were to ask you, where does the brand image reside? I think it's here. The second word is on expectations. Where does that reside? Again, it's over here. Experience, it's again here. But I think one keyword which actually can differentiate all this is the cohort which you're talking about, or with the cohort which you want to address. And that actually makes a big difference. So, and today, if you look at the way things have panned out in the last 4 years, post-COVID, I think it's the customer expectations are very different. I mean, today you are in times where you order something and you get it in 10 minutes. So I think expectations are very, very high. So this is one axis. The second thing I think is important is the entire shopper's journey. And that is where I think we have invested a lot in terms of understanding which cohort actually behaves in a particular fashion when the shopper journey happens or the shopping experience happens across the dimensions of awareness, across the dimension of consideration of that particular product or solution, across understanding features, across the entire way in which you explain to him, or there could be some objections, price, and then of course the way in which the purchase order is placed and the execution happens. And last but not the least is about advocacy. So how one can really drive customer loyalty. So across all this, we've actually mapped as to which cohort. So it could be about, say, a cohort of, say, 30 to 40 years of age. Then we look at something like 45 to 55. And I think we've actually done a thorough analysis. So we've seen that the decision making actually takes about 2 weeks. So, this is something which is very, very important. And the last axis, I think, where we talk about is the levers, which will actually help you to achieve this entire brand perception, experience, whatever we talk about. And these levers are nothing but very, very simple. First principles, 4 P's and 1 S. And that 1 S is also equally important. So we talk about product, price, place, promotion. And the S is about service, customer service, because that's where the entire advocacy piece is driven. So I think these are the 5 levers which actually help us to, work around this entire shopper journey to create this entire thing which is happening in the customer's brain. So that's how we've actually worked around this entire framework and built in digital interventions to see how we can address. So for example, how does one really look at product features? How does one really identify what product do I need? So there is a lot which now is available online, where you could have influencers talking about. We have our own shop site. We have blogs which are there. So there is a lot of material which is available on our products. And when I talk about our products, I think one of the very, very key challenges for us, and when I look at the Home Safes product, it is about creating a category, about adoption. Because that is where, we have started this entire category and we are 80% of the market. So, and how does one drive this entire adoption when there are a number of substitutes? So today, just to give you an example, a safe which you use at home, typically the substitute could be a almirah or a bank locker, or as simple as, आपका जो चावल गेहूं का डब्बा है, you will actually have jewelry kept inside that. So that is also a competitor for us. So how does one really overcome all these things and then again, build in that importance of why a customer should really buy our product? And this actually runs across all the channels. So I think one is, of course, the digital media, but these are the kind of interventions one needs to really work on. And that's how we've actually built this entire omni-channel strategy, looking at these various pieces I already explained. So that's how we could build a holistic approach.
Yep, thanks, Pushkar. Sajal, if you could state some of your strategies.
So everyone sitting here would agree to one point that the true seed of scaling a business is customer love. And in this instant gratification era that we are living in, you cannot afford to miss out of, at not being there where the customer is. Having said that, when you get to a place where the customer is, where you create an omni-channel presence, you get a lot of data to work upon. How do you make use of that data is what, creates business success in terms of revenue, in terms of lower CAC, in terms of organic growth. For instance, if I were to enumerate a few things that we are doing at Z5 is through this data we are able to see a customer's preference in terms of genres of movies, in terms of what kind of shows is he seeing. When the customer or the user comes back to our app or he's not coming back to our app, we know what to give to that customer. Sometimes the user is a little bit confused. Okay, I've watched something of this sort. Now I don't have anything new. There comes our recommendation engine where it tells you that you've watched Oppenheimer. Now you can watch. This is something new that we have come up with. Why don't you see this? So all these, data, and while you use it, makes the difference of how you're engaging with the user. Being in the digital domain, we are blessed with a lot of data, and we make use of that data to ensure that the user is getting the most out of the application that he's paid for. We've got both models where, it's a free viewing with advertisements, and, you pay for a subscription and you don't watch advertisements. Engaging with these cohorts is a very different game altogether. And from an experience perspective, while you have made relevance on the product side where the customer is coming back, he is giving you, repeat eyeballs on the application, the next thing that you need to work upon is on the service aspect. And that's what I'll be discussing in the next session, where we've gone ahead and we are working on how proactive can we be in terms of servicing the customers. Gone is the era of reactive customer service. That's done. You have to be proactive in terms of ensuring that, if someone has paid for your product, you need to ensure that there is 100% uptime. One outage or one problem with the customer and you don't own it up, you would be having your name up, crucified on all the social platforms. So that's where you need to work upon proactive customer service, which actually makes it possible for you to connect with a larger user base, and like you correctly mentioned that work on what the top 100 customers are telling you. the customer VOC that comes back to you in terms of NPS or say CSAT scores or VOCs, you work upon that and then you tweak it. Now, with this proactive mechanism that we have built on, it has given us a tremendous growth in the NPS scores. My referrals have gone up, unique organic business has gone up without providing any, benefits, or I would say freebies to the users. So that's what I'll be discussing in the later segment.
Thank you, Sajal. Sajal, if I can quote you that I think you are in the most comfortable, I would say, digital business because you have 99.99% of the data with you because your product is digital, we view it digitally, and the only thing you have to worry about is what content do I next produce, right? I mean, so let's start with the customer 360 from you because the audience have heard your situation right now. I don't want to again go back. So since it's fresh, so tell me something about, do you face any challenge in creating this customer 360?
So the first thing that we did was get a good CRM. And we integrated that data with a lot of, I would say, recommendation and AI engines that were available with that CRM tool out of the box. And then we thought to ourselves, what are the things that would make sense for a user who is paying for the service? You rightly said that content is the prima facie driver for any OTT business that's there out in the market. But content, knowing that the content is available is another, a paying factor. So, you can do messages to the customer, you can, go ahead and you can send emails. But readability of those things is a bigger question, and all the marketers here would agree that email open rates, app ping open rates, these are very screwed up matrices where you don't get the eyeballs that you want. There comes the strategy of not spamming the user, but delivering your messages where he is. So if someone is active on WhatsApp, you engage with him on a monthly basis that, hey, this is a slate of content that we have. Because in a lot of our user engagements where we were studying about renewals and why the customer is not renewing, where we got to understand that in spite of having such a high volume of promos and stuff going on, a lot of the user base is not actually aware of the titles coming up. So we started engaging them on the social media platforms, on WhatsApp, and we saw an immediate connect there, where, people were, the renewals went up. From a customer 360 degree, when someone comes to the helpline with a problem, the best part is own it up and solve for it. It should always be a no questions asked service. If someone is not liking your service or he's not happy and he wants a refund, give it back to him. Because if someone is wanting something from you, as a brand, you should always go ahead and give it back what the customer wants from you. From a customer 360, if you ask me, we now have that data stitched to a level where, we are going live with Kerala stories within a week. And we have a lot of query which is coming up that, is it, available in non-languages? Is it only Hindi or is it all South languages or not? We have started engaging with those users, thousands of queries, and we've started engaging with those users on the social media. And now, because we know who that user is, we DM them that, hey, while Kerala Stories is available in 5 languages, I see that you have a 4K device, but you're still not using the 4K plan. Why don't you upgrade? I don't give any freebies there also. And we are seeing an uptick that is happening. So you are engaging with the user, giving him what he wants, and then a subtle business revenue initiation zone where you tell him that, hey, you can watch this at a very at a better resolution on your TV.
Yeah. Thanks, Sajal. That's a good use of the intrinsic value, right, that you are giving back to your customer. So now let's begin with Manish. Manish, you actually answered a couple of questions on Customers 360. Do you want to add anything?
Just to share that customer delight is the point I think we need to discuss, because in every business, customer is God or customer is a king, like we are saying. But yeah, customer delight is a function that we need to cover in Office 360.
Okay, yeah. Prashant, over to you. You being from the fintech, how, I mean, you covered most of the things, but any challenges you feel, or you have some initiatives in mind and you would want to share, if it is possible, with us?
So there are challenges. The challenges in the omni-channel or the customer 360 degree that we typically in the payments bank or any of the bank would face is, in my opinion, it's integrations. Adapting to new technologies, trying it out, and then integrating into your existing stack. Because there are several steps involved in that. First of all, it has to be a tried and tested technology. So something new in the market, the people are always averse to take that decision, because you are responsible and answerable to the government institutions, not only to the customers. So that's one big, obstacle in the decision-making process. That also make us innovate some kind of mechanisms to get the things done and use the existing solutions to derive some kind of benefits. Okay, so that's the another part of it. But in terms of the customers, so as a banking industry, we have the data, yes. However, how fast and how good can we monetize that data or put it to the use? That is the big question, because that takes a little time, So there is a time latency, I would say.
Right. So, yeah, over to Pushkar about the challenges.
Yeah, so talking about challenges, I think I'll like to talk about two challenges and also share with the audience here how we try to overcome that. So I think the first challenge for us when we started with the omni-channel strategy implementation was the channel conflict itself. Because we come typically from a background where 100% of our business was brick and mortar, where we had conventional dealers, distributors, retailers who were actually selling our products. We started with a launch of our products on various platforms like Amazon, Flipkart, and of course we also created our own shop site. And that's where we also started creating social blogs, and we started educating customers, influencers being bought, and we also started basically driving traffic onto these websites. So the channel which was there, which we had created, got really pissed off, because they said that, "Arey bhai, we are selling your products and now you guys want to compete with us. You have your own website, you have your own shop site." So, that is where we had to take them into confidence. Yeah. And that was the real test, because, there was no way that we were going to lose out on this entire digital transformation. So what we actually did is we actually roped them in, we gave them that confidence that you are going to be a part of this entire transformation journey and this entire omni-channel thing. Because, see, one of the things for us is the last mile, because our products are pretty heavy. So a typical safe would be like, weighing 25 kilos to 500 kilos. So we definitely wanted to deliver it properly. So what we did is we roped in our conventional channel to execute the entire last mile. And that's where I think the entire success of a true omni-channel strategy paid off. Because now they really understand the importance of how we are educating, how we are creating the awareness on the social platforms, and it is really helping their business because they are actually a part of this entire system now, and they are earning margins. So that's where I think, we've been able to successfully dovetail the brick and mortar thing into the digital thing, and now, it's a completely seamless kind of omni-channel thing. The second challenge which we faced was on the service part, because I spoke about the 1S. And this actually typically happened to us during COVID because we were not able to really offer service to our customers. It was very difficult to visit their place. There were a lot of restrictions. And that's where what we did is we created a 3-tier kind of structure for our service. So the level 0 was do-it-yourself videos. So if a customer is landing into a problem, we actually would share with him or her do-it-yourself videos. So that was a DIY thing, where there was a good amount of investment which went into it. So that was level 0. Then we also, the second level was level 1, which was a technical help desk. So if somebody is really having a problem, they could actually call, and technically they could, they could give a video call also, and we were able to help them out. So that was the other thing where the resolution of the problem also was happening pretty fast. And third, of course, was the conventional call center, where, of course, the parameters of, net promoter score and, call handling time and all that was coming into play. But this 3-tier kind of structure for service also is really helping us to improve all our parameters on the service criteria, where that loyalty factor is really getting built up. So that's how I think we've been able to manage these 2 challenges, which I would say. And now, of course, the next step is to build a chatbot for our service, which will further enhance the customer experience. Yep. So that's about it. I think, the challenges will keep coming up, but we need to really be innovative and find a solution to that.
Yeah. Thanks, Pushkar. It's great, just to conclude, it's great to know that all of you guys here are relying on first-party data, that whatever is there in your systems, whatever you are able to deliver, things like that, right? But yes, I mean, I guess when we first chatted before the session, we all believe that there is a lot of scope of combining the business intelligence with this customer 360 to provide that, right? On a final note, India is very lucky, right? We can use third-party data until and unless a stronger GDPR kind of thing comes into play, right? So till that time, we are free to use a lot of things. And of course, AI comes with a certain level of responsibility. Here we are doing everything on our own. But yes, there would be a time where you would want to restrict how much data you can give it to AI to, generate a nice 360, but there we'll have to have a balance. So with that note, I thank you everyone for attending this. I hope it was useful. Okay. Thanks.
Thank you. And Bandaru, Global Lead Head CRM UPL, to join us on the stage and felicitate